Magical hello, everyone. Madam Z here, the headmistress of Madam Z School of Witchery. And so glad that you could make it here today with me live. So if you are watching the live, hit live for me. Let me know how you are feeling today. If you're feeling good or feeling kind of wonky, how's your magical practice going? How are you feeling into the new year? Also, if you're catching the replay, hit hashtag replay and I will give you lots of replay love. So I can't forget about my replay, folks. So glad you are joining me live today for today's training. I go live in my social media groups and my social media platforms every Wednesday. So join me live every Wednesday at 3:33 p.m. Central as I do my weekly magical live training. So glad you can catch me live here today. What's in my magical brew today? What am I drinking today? Nothing fancy. Today is just all about water. I think I've got some orange in there and a little bit of lemon. So today I'm going with all kinds of citrus flavored essential oils in there. And yes, some of the essential oils you can ingest. So either you can put a little bit of essential oils in there if you can ingest that, or you can just do a couple of squeezes of lime, squeezes of orange zest. So orange really just gets me motivated, gets me energized. I love anything citrus. So today is just citrus infused water. So boring today, right? I know it. I know it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I need to up my game on my drinks, right? But sometimes I just pull out of the refrigerator what I have available. So, all right. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the training today. It's super casual, as you know. Um, I just keep it super casual. It's we talk about all kinds of stuff. Hey, welcome. So glad you can join us live. How are you? Let me know where you're from, where you're watching from. Yesterday was the dark moon. A couple days ago was a dark moon. So I was busy making some dark moon goddess incense. So super excited about that. It was wonderful. It's dark, devious, amber scented, just this darkness of the incense that I created. I freaking love this incense. I will be burning it a couple days from now. I'm going to be doing a ritual with Lilith. So we're going to be working with Lilith, and I'm so excited to have that instance. So that's what I've been working on the last couple days in the magical school of witchery. So let's jump in today's training, because I know you're like, Madam Z, shut up, let's talk. What are we going to talk about today? So today I want to talk to you about my 5 ways to use your psychic abilities. Now, this is almost like a series of psychic things that I'm doing, and this is like the second one of the series. And we talked earlier or last week about our clairs and what kind of clairs you have, how to tap into them, and the exercises you can to just hone those crafts. But this one is my 5 ways to use those psychic abilities. And we'll run down those and we'll just have a chat. Oh, you did love that. I'm so glad you really enjoyed last week's training on the different types of clairs and those exercises. Yeah, I'm so happy for that. I'm glad you like that. We're going to talk about the different ways you can use these psychic abilities and these clairs in your craft. And it's not like what we call a gallery reading. So these are kind of different. I don't do gallery readings. I really don't care for them. It's just not my forte. I like physical mediumship, and we can talk a little bit about that. But these are the ways that I use my clairs. They're totally different than a gallery reading. Now, what is a gallery reading? A gallery reading is what you see on TV, basically, like John Edwards, where you have an audience, or Long Island Medium, and they just stand there in front of this audience, and whatever comes through for them, then they connect to that person in the audience and they start doing mediumship through that. That's a gallery reading. I don't connect that way. It's not my favorite way of doing mediumship. So I just don't do gallery, but that is what a gallery reading is. Oh, you've been to, okay. you've been to a couple galleries. Yeah, they're interesting for sure. I think everybody who's interested in mediumship should go to at least one gallery reading to know what it's about and get the feel for how it's kind of ran and how the steps are that they do to work with bringing in spirit and connection and mediumship. And then you know if you like it or not. So the first one that I like is to receive messages from past loved ones, which is just like mediumship that you see, the gallery reading. But you can do it differently. I like one-on-one sitting, and I do a lot of mine one-on-one, and I also do a lot of mine connecting through past ones by using tarot cards, tarot and mediumship. That's my number one favorite way to connect with past loved ones is through tarot, and they will speak to me through my tarot cards. So the number one reason to use your psychic abilities is to receive messages of past loved ones of your clients so that they can receive closure from the other side. They will ask, are they in pain? They will ask, are they okay? This gives them the opportunity of any messages that may come through for them, any closing things or issues or relationships that have not been kind of like closed or dealt with. And this gives them the opportunity to actually get that closure they need, whether it's something that wasn't said, or they need to release some guilt of something, or they need reassurance that they're okay, that they need to release the guilt of maybe something they did to that they think caused their passing. So it's really healing from the other side to that earthly plane here. And it also gives them a chance to seek guidance because they're on the other side. So now they have privy to all this information that we don't have on this earthly plane. You're right, correct. It is about healing. And that is the one thing about magic and the one thing about mediumship. It's not all about spellcrafting and hexing. And although, sometimes we gotta do it, girls. But it's about healing yourself and healing others. And that's what mediumship really is about. You're absolutely correct. It's about healing and getting closure and getting guidance from them. A lot of them, people on this plane just want to know that they're on the right path. They have any insight from the other side. Are they doing what they're supposed to be doing kind of energy. So, and it's not about, hey, grandma, tell me where the money's stashed kind of thing, because, grandma ain't going to tell you. She ain't going to tell you in this earthly plane. She ain't going to tell you over there. You got to figure it out. So it's not about that kind of thing. It's about healing and making sure everything is cleared out, getting guidance, getting reassurance, and just releasing the energy that's been with that person, that sadness, and knowing that the person is still there. Yes, it is very much emotionally releasing. Your clients will cry, they will break down, they will, jump for joy, they'll be relieved of any kind of guilt. So yes, it's a very emotional session. So make sure you hold your space, make sure you hold your intent, you hold that pillar of healing for them and that sacred space to release that, and also keep tissues on your reading table or in your session room because you're going to need it. So yes, it's very emotional at times. And number 2, so I use my psychic abilities to help with unsolved mysteries, like murder mysteries or whodunit or what happened. And your tarot cards will speak to you. And I do teach this in the upcoming Witches Psychic Circle development course that's coming up. And we'll talk about that in a minute, sorry. But these are different kind of ways of using your psychic abilities than just gallery readings. Using your psychic abilities to solve or help solve unsolved mysteries or murder mysteries, or where is this person at? Where was she last seen? Where were they last seen? What happened to them? Are they alive? Are they passed through? This is the kind of stuff that you can use with your psychic abilities. You can find lost objects also, and this kind of falls under the unsolved mystery umbrella. I know, right? You never did think that you could use mediumship to solve unsolved mysteries. I know a lot of mediums do collaborate with local police departments to help guide them. And so I'll give you all kinds of tips and tricks in the psychic development course on how to use your psychic abilities for unsolved mysteries. And yes, they do use psychic and mediums to solve mysteries. They just won't come out and say it. It'll help them guide, because they can't, because it's like pseudoscience, right? They can't come out and say, oh, you know, Madam Z solved this unsolved mystery that, or this murder mystery that we've been trying to solve for 20 years, and she connected to the other side and she solved it. They're not going to come out and say that. They're just not. They can't. But just know that if you have that ability, you can work with the detectives or police department to help solve those unsolved mysteries. I know, it's super interesting. Number 3, which is one of my favorite ones. I should have moved this to the top. But if you know me, and you've been a part of my little world for a while, you will know that I love paranormal stuff. I have a women's group here in Texas. I'm in Austin. It's called Texas Ghost Girls, and we actually do a lot of paranormal investigating. And when you use your psychic abilities to do paranormal investigating, you use that energy to identify if the house has spirits or energies, or, you know, maybe you can sit in a dark room and you'll hear sounds, you'll hear voices, you'll hear people walking. This all using the different clairs that we talked about last week or earlier. You can identify who or what is haunting the place. Because let me tell you, it may not be a person who's haunting the place. You may find out that it's another being. You may find out it's an entity. You may find out that is it actually attached to the land? Is it attached to the person? Is it attached to the house? Is it residual? So all of these clairs you want to open up to the experience of trying to figure out what is going on in this paranormal investigation. Correct. Yes. What I do is I usually scan the room. We'll talk about this later because I have some other ones. And I will go through the rooms and I will see if I get any energies. I will feel the room. I will try to listen for things. Am I being called to this certain room? Am I being called to this part of the house? And you will open up your third eye and you will see visions of what actually happened. Because a lot of times the trauma of what happened that caused that haunted house will play over and over and over again. It's like a big loop, right? And you just happen to be in the middle of the loop. So you open your clairs and you get to really see what actually happened and why that house is haunted. So absolutely right. I know it's if you guys can try to get in paranormal investigating team to work on your clairs, I really suggest you try to do it, because there's nothing like actual field experience than just sitting there reading a book. You need experience. You need tangible working on how this energy feels. Yep, you're absolutely right. Thank you for that. Yeah, of course. So another way you can, for paranormal investigation, is you can open and close portals. It's just like that old movie, This House is Clean, kind of like, right? You can go around and feel or talk to and ask questions, spirit, where's the portal at? Excuse me, or you can feel it where the portal is at. And you can actually use your visualization in your third eye, in your mind's eye, to actually close that portal, and you will see everything just kind of falling into the abyss, right? And then you just close that portal. And then you scan the room, you scan the energies, you use your senses to see if that portal is completely closed, or if you need to do a stronger type of closing ritual. So you can close and release spirits, close portals, release spirits. You can look for portals of energy in the house. And you can actually do the closing ceremony there and releasing the spirits, because a lot of spirits don't really realize that they passed on, and then you kind of have to, like, you need to be released. You ask them if they want to be released, and you can use that energy to release the spirits and help them cross over, for sure. And then you will feel the energy change, and you will feel and smell maybe something that has like crossed over is gone now. You will feel the energy shift. You will know that what you do is, when I go in there, you will feel like sometimes you'll have dead energy, not dead as in like died, but dead as in there's nothing here. And you will feel that energy as far as, yeah, there's something here. And then when you do the releasing ceremony or the closing of the portal, it will feel dead. You will walk in there and there's nothing. So that's what we call dead energy. There's just nothing there. And so you have to learn how that energy shifts and how that feels. Yeah, it's super interesting. It's intense. And you will definitely use all of your clairs to close the portal, to sense if the portal is closed, and you may have to come back a few times to solidify that, to reclose it. Yeah, paranormal investigating hauntings are really cool. Super, super cool. All right, so another one that you can use your clairs for is reading auras. So, and reading energy in a room or on a person. So you can scan the auras, and this is one of the modules in the class, in the course that's going to be coming up on the 28th, I think it's 28th. The doors, we'll talk about that later, but the doors aren't open yet. But I will teach you how to read auras and how to scan a person's body, and not only a person, but how to scan an energy field for maybe a dog, maybe a pet, maybe a room, maybe an object. You can put the object in your hand, and you can scan the aura and find out what that energy is around that person. You can actually do an aura reading on a person and see what part of that body may need more intense healing. Okay. What part of the room or location of maybe a haunting or a what is it, a object, a room, a building, a location, what part of that room or location is the worst, that needs most of your attention. You may walk into a house, and this is about a paranormal investigation too, and you be like, oh, that energy in the back on the left side in the mudroom is where it's all at, or maybe it's up in the attic in the crawl space is where everything is at. So that's where you're going to be drawn to. You're going to read the aura of that room. You're going to cleanse it, and then you're going to release all of that in there. So auras are a really quick way to scan your energies around a building, a haunting, a person. When you're doing Reiki work, you could do this, and looking for energies in the body that needs to be cleaned out. Yeah, it's really good if you want to add this into your personal practice. So you can do, it's called scanning. You can just do aura scannings, and you're like, what's going on in your sacral chakra? Yeah, it needs to be cleared out. Let's do some clearing energy for that. Let's do some pendulum work for that. Let's use some crystals or some a ritual that's going to clear that energy out. So it's a super fast way. You don't have to do this big ritual. You just drop into headspace. You read the energy aura around them and see where it needs to be, the energy that needs to be directed to that person that needs to be cleared out. Yes, you can do this from, the good thing about auras is you don't have to be in the physical. You can do it over the internet, which, especially because what's going on now, you can do it through a photograph, you can do it through a picture on the internet. So you don't have to be in person to actually do it. You can do it very much remotely, which is super, super cool and convenient. So you can do like globally. global healing also. And number 5 is connecting to spirits or entities. And this is interesting because everybody thinks that psychic abilities, spirit communication, whatever, is just about people who have passed over, like people. I should just say like people in general. And it's not. You can connect with all kinds of energies when you do a spirit communication. If you believe in aliens, you can connect to aliens or star seeds or goblins or fairies or gnomes or dragons or, different goddesses you can connect with. You can connect with entities as such as maybe it's just a lower energy entity, not so much a demon, but maybe it's a lower kind of vibe energy. So look at the different possibilities and open your mind to just not the physical person that's passed over as a spirit. What else can you connect with that's an entity that's not in a physical form? Like I said, maybe it's a dragon, or maybe it's a goblin, maybe it's a gnome, maybe it's a fairy, maybe it's a troll, maybe it's, a different kind of goddess that you want to work with, or a god. So look at the different entities that you can connect with, and not entities, all entities are bad. You get lots of wisdom from alien entities or from star seeds. So expand your mind. Yeah, exactly. People just think that spirit communication is people from connecting people who are on this earthly plane that has passed over. No, you can trans out, go deep into your third eye and drop down into what I call a headspace, psychic headspace. And you can open yourself up to mediumship, to channeling these deities. And if you're into ascended masters, you can work with ascended masters and, see what's what's coming up through there in the messages that, yeah, ascended masters for sure. And this is really good for when you're doing spirit communication as far as hauntings, because a lot of times some of the hauntings have never been manifested into the physical form, or maybe it's just an energy that's attached to the trees or the land. Or maybe this person, not person, but maybe this entity has never formed in the physical, which is a whole other thing. So expand your image or your experience. I know, right? I'm just reading the comments. It's crazy when you get outside of the box of how you can use psychic abilities, because people just say, oh, Long Island Medium or John Edwards, or whatever it is that you see all these gallery readings. Expand your mind how you can connect with other source, other entities that are not on this plane. And how you can heal those, because a lot of the times when you're doing paranormal investigations, or if you have an attachment to people, or people will come in, right? Exactly. You're correct. Yeah, that's a very good point. Attachments, yeah. When you come in, you'll have clients that come in with attachments to them, and they're like, I need to release this attachments. I need to do some cord cutting. When you do not paranormal investigation, but when you use your psychic abilities, you can actually pinpoint and identify what type of attachment this person has. And then you can do that cord cutting that will release the bond between them two in that attachment. Don't forget, all of your psychic abilities are about healing people. Especially, a lot of people think, well, paranormal investigating, how is that healing? You are helping these people try to live in a harmonious life in their house. These people are terrified. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They need help. They need insight. So you're offering the healing to them. And people with auras, they need cleansing. Unsolved murder mysteries, they need closure for sure. They just want to know what happened, really, what happened, and where they can find their loved ones. So expand expand your mind on how you can use your psychic abilities, how you can feel the energy of the room. The possibilities of using your psychic abilities are endless. It's just not connecting with your past loved ones. Really, you can do pet readings also, which is another one. So yeah, you've done pet readings too. Yeah, it's really cool. It's very interesting. I don't do pet readings though. I do some pet readings, especially if they come through strong, but it's not my like forte. I have to call them in. A lot of times pet readers are just like, oh, the pet's here, but no, I have to invite them in. So if you find a really good pet reader, that's really good. So what else? I think that's it. So this is some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about and learning in my Witches Psychic Development course, which is the 28th. And I will put a link in the description for the waiting list. The doors are not open yet, but if you want to be on the waiting list for any specials, discounts, bonuses that might be offered before I release this to the public, get on the waiting list, because I'm only taking 10 powerful psychic women who want to develop their psychic abilities. And this is I think it's 6 modules. This is hands-on psychic development course. It's not like you just read it and you're done with it. You will get homework, you will get practice sessions, you'll get real-time murder mysteries that we're going to talk about, how to solve an unsolved murder mystery. You get aura readings, you get automatic writing, you get finding lost objects, you get all kinds of really cool things on how to develop your psychic abilities. This is a hands-on psychic development class. This is a practical class. And then you get to dive deep into how to use all of these psychic abilities and how to really hone them and really develop those so you can help people is what we really want to do. So I'm going to leave the description in the description box, or maybe the comments, whichever one is best for everyone to see. Get on the waiting list, because once those 10 spots are filled, I'm not opening it up to the public at all. I'm only taking 10 people. One seat's already gone. I have 1 or 2 seats already gone. I know 1 is gone, 2's in the waiting. So as soon as they're filled, they're filled. If they are filled before I even open the doors, then they're filled. They're out. I won't be offering this. I haven't offered this course in a year. Okay. So you get all the 6 modules, and then we actually get to do a whole practice session, bringing all of the whole 6 modules and all of your psychic abilities into one big, huge session. Super excited about that. All right, my witches, I know, right? I'll give you the link. I'll give you the link. I know you guys are excited about it. So I definitely will drop the link so you guys can click it and just get your name in the waiting list. So when it opens, you will be able to just snag that seat right away. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me for today's training. My ways to use your psychic abilities other than, John Edwards or Long Island Medium. So let me know how you're using your psychic abilities. I would love to know, or which psychic abilities that you would like to actually develop. Leave those in the comments for me, because I really would like to see how you're using your psychic abilities. All right, everyone, wish on, and we will see you in the next training. Bye.